Hi, I'm Delusion Dispeller. I'm hoping this video turns out okay. I'm sitting out at Discovery Park, which is close to my home. My husband is fishing, my daughter's fishing and riding her bike, and I decided it would be a beautiful day to make a video out in nature. What better place to film, right? Okay, so this video is going to be interesting. I'm going to be comparing narcissists to 6-year-olds. Because it is my firm belief, and a lot of other people's, that narcissists are merely children that never grew up. Whether they are male or female, it's kind of the same type of thing. So I'm going to be talking to you about some traits of 6-year-olds and comparing that to the adult narcissist. So a little bit of background here. Okay. The main thing about narcissists is that they want to do what they do to who they want to do it to, when they want to, and they have no remorse over anything that they do. If you do see any type of tears or remorse, it's usually very brief, and they call this crocodile tears because they can sort of turn them on and turn them off as it suits them. If the narcissist says he or she is sorry, then it's only so that they can rebuild people's high view of themselves. They like to play the hero. They like to play the magnanimous person that basically... I'm going to be distracted, by the way, because there's a lot of people riding bikes and talking. They like to play the hero. They like to seem like the humanitarian, the one that cares so much, the mother, the father figure, whatever suits them, however they get their narcissistic supply, which is usually basically feeling grandiose and good about themselves based on what other people think. Okay, narcissists can be very highly intelligent, but emotionally they're children. And I believe sometimes they're almost like perpetual teenagers that never grew up. They act like what we might call a spoiled brat or a spoiled child at times. Usually this happens in private with you where nobody sees it, and they act like charmers in person. So that when you go and try to talk to somebody and say, "Do you know what they did to me?" they scratch their head and say, "I think you might be exaggerating a little bit." We've never seen them act like that, because they don't act like that in front of everybody. I'm not saying none of them do, but the ones I've met, usually it was a turn on, turn off type of thing. So narcissists have a huge defense wall that's up because they're terrified to face who they really are deep down inside. In fact, they have learned to keep their genuine, vulnerable self buried so deep inside of them that when they even sense that somebody's starting to see a part of it, they panic. It's a great fear that you're going to find out who's really down in there, know who they really are. You won't see signs of this fear unless you try to get too close to them, or you try to confront them about some type of questionable behavior or thing that they've said. They're usually pretty tactless. So if you say, "Hey, what did you mean by that?" or something like that, like they're just being very cold and tactless and don't care what you think of what they said. They may say a hurtful comment or whatever. And if you confront them and say, "That wasn't very nice," all of a sudden they get very defensive. They'll either deny it or they'll say, "Well, you said this," or they can't receive blame very well, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. They usually do understand what common decency is and what it involves, but they feel like they're above common decency. They're above the laws and the rules that govern most people. So even though they know right from wrong, they don't do it because they feel that they're entitled to do what they want and not have consequences. So you see this in exaggerated form in like a psychopath or a sociopath or an antisocial person. So anyways, there's somebody coming this way, so I'm going to end this video because it makes me very self-conscious. Stay tuned for the next video.